Thinking about giving your workshop a major upgrade this year? The real challenge is knowing where to start. That's exactly what we're here to help with today. Hazet has introduced an outstanding range of tools for 2026, and although each one is built to a high standard, the best fit depends on the way you work. We have 17 brand new Hazet tools to explore, helping you decide which ones deserve a place in your workshop. Let's get started. If you want drilling, driving, and impact capability wrapped into a single tool, this is the step up you have been looking for. Maximum torque hits 158 Newton meters on the highest setting, which means timber, steel, and masonry are all fair game without hesitation. What gives it a refined feel despite that power is the control range. 23 torque levels plus a turbo mode that climbs in speed when the job demands it means you're never locked into one behavior. You adapt to the material. The anti-kickback system is worth calling out specifically. If the drill suddenly binds mid-operation, it shuts down before the torque reaction can hurt your wrist. In confined or awkward positions, that matters considerably more than the spec sheet implies. Brushless motor construction rounds things out with improved efficiency and extended service life. After the compact household screwdriver, this brings serious capability back to the center. Now, instead of another handheld tool, we step back and look at where all of this equipment lives. This 13-in-1 packs pliers, wire cutters, a knife, scissors, screwdrivers, and a small saw blade into one unit that disappears into your pocket or clips under your belt. When you are mid-job and need a quick solution without walking back to the main toolbox, this is what saves you the trip. The balance it strikes is what makes it worth carrying. It is not attempting to replace full-size tools and does not pretend otherwise. Instead, it gives you enough capability to handle small tasks on the spot without compromise. The ergonomic handle also holds up better during extended use than most multi-tools in this category. This becomes your immediate access solution when everything else is out of reach. Focused and purposeful, this tool solves a specific problem very cleanly. These pliers are engineered for resetting brake pistons on hydraulic disc braking systems, with bicycle applications particularly in mind. The design applies equal pressure to both sides simultaneously rather than pushing unevenly on a single piston face. That parallel action matters because it protects fragile components like ceramic pistons and keeps the caliper system properly aligned throughout the process. Working range runs from 4 to 15 millimeters and accommodates systems with openings beyond 20 millimeters, covering most standard configurations. The feedback you get while pressing is another genuine advantage. You feel exactly how the piston is responding, which prevents you from pushing too far and causing problems. This is not just about making the job easier, it is about completing it without introducing new damage in the process. This one arrives with a totally different energy, yet it turns out to be more practical than the packaging suggests. Inside this advent calendar format box, you find a full 24-piece kit centered around a compact cordless screwdriver. The driver runs on a 3.6-volt battery, delivering up to 5 Newton meters of torque across 3 adjustable levels. Demanding mechanical work is not the target here, but quick household fixes, minor workshop tasks, and light daily use are handled comfortably. The included bits span Torx, Phillips, and hex profiles, covering the vast majority of everyday situations, straight from the box. USB-C charging keeps it topped up wherever you happen to be working. After this series of heavy-duty tools, this is the one that fits the workshop at home or the quick repair that cannot wait. And right after this, we jump straight back into serious performance territory.
At a certain point, the conversation has to shift toward organization. This tool trolley is not simply a cabinet on wheels. It arrives as a complete working system with 515 tools already arranged and ready inside. 8 fully extendable drawers run on smooth slides, and foam inserts keep every single tool in its designated location. You see immediately what is present and what has been left out. The construction itself is made for demanding daily use. Double-walled body panels, welded joints throughout, and a stainless steel worktop that shrugs off spills and abuse.
A solid locking mechanism holds all drawers secure while the trolley is in motion. This is less about one specific tool and more about giving every other tool on this list a proper home. From here, we shift to something far more compact but quietly useful across a wide range of everyday moments. We return to impact sockets here, but the emphasis is completely different from the first set. This is a 4-piece kit built around a joint that articulates up to 25 degrees. That single feature transforms how you approach fasteners buried in awkward locations. Rather than fighting to get a straight line on a bolt, you come in at an angle and still transfer impact force cleanly. Sizes cover 17, 19, and 21 milliliters, which are the measurements you encounter most often on wheels and suspension components. The traction profile on the socket walls distributes force over a broader contact area, reducing wear on both the socket and the fastener over time. Where the first set was about maximum coverage, this one is entirely about reach and adaptability in confined spaces. Simple on paper, but genuinely valuable once it's in your hands. This UV LED torch is designed primarily for leak detection work. Apply UV dye to the system, illuminate with this torch, and any leak site becomes immediately visible. Brightness reaches 800 lumens with a beam that carries roughly 150 meters, so it handles both close-up inspection and wider area lighting comfortably. The 90-degree adjustable head is a practical feature that lets you direct light into exactly the right position without contorting your arm. An integrated magnet and clip mean you can fix it in place and work with both hands free. Once you can clearly see where the problem is, the natural next step is usually treating or reshaping the material around it.
On the surface, this looks like a minor accessory. Use it once in a real workflow, and your opinion changes fast. This adapter bridges a 24mm hex drive to a half-inch square, letting you swap between impact tools and sockets without breaking your rhythm to reconfigure the setup. The detail worth noting is the locking ball mechanism. There are no fiddly pins or O-rings. You push, it clicks, it holds. Release is just as effortless. When you're cycling through tire rotations, suspension work, or anything that involves frequent size changes, that small time savings adds up considerably. This tool is not about brute force or torque ratings. It is purely about keeping interruptions out of your process, which makes the contrast with our next pick especially sharp. Start here if you want a genuine foundation. This is not simply a bag of sockets thrown together, it's a complete working system. You get 41 pieces covering sizes from 17 to 36 millimeters, along with XCN, Torx, and hex profiles. That range instantly pushes you beyond basic car work and into suspension jobs, axle bolts, and even light industrial tasks without needing a second kit. The foam insert tray is what really separates this from ordinary sets. Each socket has a dedicated spot, so one glance tells you exactly what's missing. That might sound minor until you're working fast or sharing a toolbox with teammates. It also integrates directly with Hazet trolleys, so if your storage is already sorted, this slides right in. This is the kind of set that shapes how everything else gets organized. This next one is highly specialized, but there's simply no substitute when the situation calls for it. This adapter set was created specifically for removing clamping screws on BMW and Audi multi-link rear axle systems. Anyone who's worked on these platforms knows exactly how corroded and seized those fasteners can become after years of use. Rather than improvising with whatever's nearby, this set connects cleanly into an impact extractor system, directing force precisely where it belongs without collateral damage to surrounding components. Compatible models include Audi A4, A6, Q5, Q7, and a range of Volkswagen platforms, making it a regular tool for European vehicle specialists. The whole process feels deliberate and controlled, rather than forceful and uncertain. Where the first tool offered broad reach, this one delivers pinpoint accuracy for a known and recurring problem. Coming up next, we return to something that improves your pace across nearly every type of job. Pick this up, and you immediately sense that it means business.
This is an extendable 3/4-inch ratchet, stretching from 730 millimeters all the way to 1,130 millimeters. That range gives you the leverage normally reserved for a breaker bar while keeping complete ratchet functionality in your hands. Peak torque reaches 1,800 Newton meters, making it appropriate for large fasteners, heavily seized bolts, truck drivetrain work, or industrial equipment that laughs at standard tools. What makes it usable, rather than just powerful, is the steepless extension. You dial in exactly the length you need, rather than jumping between fixed positions. At those torque levels, grip and hand stability become critical concerns, and the handle design on this one keeps things firmly under control throughout.
This is the tool that most people walk past and most people eventually regret ignoring. This hose lubricator automatically delivers oil into your pneumatic tools during operation. Every time you pick up an air tool, internal components receive lubrication without any extra step from you. Capacity sits at 28 milliliters with airflow support up to 261 liters per minute, which handles even heavy demand tools like impact wrenches without restriction. The flexible coupling connection is a thoughtful detail. If your tool gets knocked or drops unexpectedly, the stress does not travel directly into the lubricator body. That protects both components. Quick coupling also keeps transitions smooth during frequent tool changes. Individually, this one is not glamorous. Collectively, it extends the working life of everything connected to your airline, keeps performance consistent, and reduces the cost of replacements. Next, we move into brake service territory, where the priority shifts entirely towards precision and patient control.
This one brings real adaptability to jobs involving plastics, heat shrink wiring, surface preparation, and label removal. It reaches around 300 degrees Celsius in approximately 15 seconds, so there is very little standing around waiting for it to be useful. 2 temperature levels and 2 airflow settings give you meaningful control over how much heat you're applying and where. Running on battery means you're not searching for a nearby outlet or managing a trailing cord across a large workspace. Multiple nozzle attachments let you focus or broaden the heat zone, depending on what the task requires. After the diagnostic clarity the UV torch provides, this tool gives you practical control over materials that need reshaping or treatment. When you need reliable answers in an electrical diagnosis rather than educated guesses, this is the instrument that delivers. It combines 3 functions: full clamp meter for current, complete multimeter capability, and a non-contact voltage sensor, all in one compact unit. AC and DC current measurements go up to 100 amps without any need to disconnect wiring, which saves time and keeps things considerably safer. Voltage handling reaches 600 volts, and it also covers resistance and capacitance readings. No swapping between instruments for each check. At just 175 millimeters long, it fits into engine bays, fuse boxes, and other tight areas where larger meters cannot follow. Once the problem is clearly identified through diagnosis, the work typically moves toward cutting, shaping, or removing material. Here, we step into finishing and fabrication work. This angle grinder handles cutting, grinding, and polishing tasks with a level of refinement that goes beyond raw motor power. The soft start feature builds speed gradually from switch on rather than lurching immediately to full revs. That smoothness gives you noticeably better control in the critical first moments of contact. Anti-kickback detection stops the tool if it suddenly binds, which is an important safety layer during metal work where that scenario is always possible. Guard adjustment requires no additional tools, keeping setup time short between different tasks. When material needs to be shaped, reduced, or finished cleanly, this is where you reach. We close with the tool that makes everything after the work is done feel manageable. This dry vacuum cleaner is designed for workshop environments, and it goes noticeably beyond entry-level suction machines. A 1200-watt motor generates strong, consistent suction pressure that pulls dust, chips, and fine particles out of the workspace quickly. The compact body with a built-in shoulder strap means you carry it with you rather than dragging a large-wheeled unit from corner to corner. Manual filter cleaning keeps suction performance consistent without stopping to swap out consumables. A 6-liter container, generous cable length, and extendable hose let you cover a solid working area before needing to reposition. That covers all 17. Some of these tools speed things up, some sharpen your control, and others simply make your whole workspace function more smoothly. Thanks for watching. If this was useful, leave a like and hit subscribe for more content like this. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We always enjoy hearing from you.